Hey guys, so the last video came out this morning and I had worked on the tomato yesterday to the overwintered tomato. It came out this morning, it was completely wilted and limp. The reason was it hadn't been trained up this string since it was small, and so this whole thing slid down, which crimped the stem right there and probably cut off water to the plant higher up. So I've strung it up again. I don't know that it will die. It is kind of leaking there where it was bent, but the stem is still intact. It's not broken off. So I'm going to attach this a little bit better so it doesn't slide, and hopefully things will work out okay. Anyway, that was a weird start to the video. So I mentioned on the last video that I had quite a few things on my to-do list to be prepared for the film crew that comes at the end of the month for School of Traditional Skills. Today I got to get the rest of these seedlings. These are all flower seedlings into the cottage garden. They've been in here too long. They're not doing the greatest, but these zinnias should have been pinched back. Some of them have been eaten. Really should have gotten to it before now, but you know how things go. Also, I want to introduce the lambs to Daisy in a little more official capacity. I mean, they've seen each other, you know, right here through the fence. But what I want to do today is take the lambs and actually put them in the corral, close them in the corral while Daisy's out in the pasture, and then just kind of, I don't know, maybe let Daisy in the corral on a lead maybe and see what happens. Should be okay. I mean, there's no reason for Daisy to do anything to them. They're not threatening in any way. Before we start planting some of those seedlings up here, I'm going to have to come clean out a bit. A lot of this Amimagus is just, it's all, you know, self-sown. And so there's a lot of areas in here that are self-sown with things like these are Chinese foxglove, which are these, and they're coming up everywhere. I've also got dahlias coming up that are being shaded out by all of these self-sown things. So I got to get in here and strategically take some of those out so that I can let things that need more space get more space, and then I can also plant things that aren't going to be shaded and won't grow. Can you hear this? Daisy and the lambs all telling me we want our breakfast. Okay. Are you ready for some food? I know there's slim pickings in the pasture, huh? Slim pickings. You coming? Okay, Daisy, let's go. Come on, Daisy. I thought you were hungry. You were hungry. Still shedding that winter coat.
I think you're gonna get Otis first.
Just for that, I'm gonna get Ollie first.
Well, that's not fair.
Come here, you.
Hi, Ollie. Can I pet you? Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, sweetie. You're so cute. Yes, you are.
Hi. Head down.
It's okay. We're coming back for you.
What do you think? Go get your brother.
Daisy's like, what is going on? What do you think, Daisy? You got a friend? Hi. Hello. Hello. What do you think, guys? Chase is like...
Whole family.
Hey, look. Yum yums.
Oh, give me your chunky. There we go. Yeah.
Aw, are you a happy boy? Oh. How you feeling? Moveless? How you doing, Brian?
Moveless. All right, I'm gonna head up and start cleaning out the flower beds. What's up? Come on. Come on. Good girl. Just have everybody in here. Hi, sweetheart. Sit. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Bella. No. It's been an interesting morning here at the homestead. First, when I went to feed the chickens this morning, I found a dead chicken, which wouldn't surprise me if it's the one of the ones that came here. Please stop that. Sit. Thank you. Wouldn't have surprised me if it was one that we brought here from our old house, but it actually was one of the newest ones that we had in a small coop over here. We moved up here just a few months ago, so it was probably a year old actually. No clue to what could have caused it, but I guess those things happen sometimes. And then a little bit ago I got a text from our neighbor saying Bella was over at the neighbor's house. Now there's another white dog that looks like her, and we've gotten texts from several neighbors saying, hey, Bella's out, just so you know. And it's always this other white dog. So I figured that's what it was today, but no, it was this one. And I'm not exactly sure how she did it, so we need to go over where she got out, because I saw her sneaking through. So it might just be that the fence needs to be pulled. It's where the wire fence that my dad and I put in meets the chain link fence. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, you can see right there, she just was able to push and squeeze through there just enough. So I think I should be able to just use the wire that's there and wire it to the chain link. I'll try that. All right, so I just took the wire and wrapped it around the chain link all the way down. That should fix the problem. I got Ollie and Otis out here in the front. taking care of the weeds. And they wrap themselves around this pot. So there were a lot of comments in the last video about me carrying them rather than having them on a leash and walking them to wherever they're going to go. First of all, they're not very heavy. They might look heavier because of their wool. I don't know. They're not heavy at all. But I know that's not a long-term solution. Obviously, they're going to get bigger. The reason I wasn't using a leash is because I used a leash the first time, and they're so, like, they don't want to go with you, so you're dragging them, and I feel like I was choking them. So that's why I stopped that. Now, I could train them to a leash, but my friend Paula actually recommended that I bucket train them, which I like the sound of a lot better. Basically, you put something in a bucket that they love, most likely some kind of grain, and they'll follow you anywhere. And where one goes, the other goes. So to put them back in their kennel, I just unhook both of them and carry one, and the other one follows. So I have some options. Bucket training, though, I think is the first one I'm going to try. So yesterday I got all of the, you can see this is a lot thinner up here, especially the Nicotiana and the Amimagus. I cut it all back. I actually thinned this out a lot more than I thought. I've got a little over 3 weeks, about 3 weeks until the film crew comes here to film the class. And so I wanted to have everything at its peak then. And it felt like the Nicotiana at least was past its peak and needed to be kind of pruned back a little bit so it can flush out again. The Amimagus, I'm just not sure I'm going to grow that anymore. I mean, it takes over, first of all. I mean, it's not hard to pull when it's a baby, but when it gets bigger, it is. I need to get this one out, but you can see by the time it starts to bloom, it's 8 feet tall and starts to yellow and get mildew. So I'm sure that's our climate, because I know plenty of people who don't live here that grow Amimagus and they love it, but I'm not a fan. So I've got lots of it just thrown around. I need to put it all in the compost and then get started today on getting the seedlings planted out here. These guys have been grazing all day, and one turned into a pirate. Otis turned into a pirate. Came up here today and found the climbing rose that was climbing beautifully over the gable here, laying down. I didn't really have it up here very securely. I just kind of wove the climbing rose through the thatch, and that I knew it wasn't like a long-term thing. But so now what I've done is I've taken 3 screws and screwed them into the roof, and then I ran this wire up. So that's sturdy, and I can now tie the rose into that, but it's pretty invisible as far as, I mean, it would be invisible anyway because the rose would be under it, but it's pretty invisible even without it. So it looks a little bit wonky right now, but it's been laying over in the sun, so the branches have kind of turned the way they were toward the sun at that point. I'm gonna let this sit the rest of the day, maybe part of tomorrow, and then come in here and maybe tie in some more, or just prune off what doesn't look right. So the next couple of days, the projects are gonna be getting the clover, or the area for the clover lawn prepped and ready to sow. I was trying out some of the subterranean drip and just seeing how much I was going to need. And this is an experiment. I've never done it before. There's only a couple videos online about it. So I've got to weed out the rest of the weeds here, pull a lot of this soil away, and then I'm debating on whether or not to put hardware cloth under the whole clover lawn to protect from gophers, because, I mean, obviously gophers are just going to ruin it. Right now I'm leaning toward doing it. I've got it, so I guess I'd rather be safe than sorry, because once the grass is there, clover's there, you can't change it. So I have another valve, sprinkler valve for the clover lawn, and it's going to come up here as well. I'm not going to do this part yet, but this area right here is going to be clover lawn as well. We actually went to the nursery today and got some hydrangeas. We got these 3 here, And then we got this one back here, which is a variegated. It's got a variegated leaf on it. And this is a lace cap. They're not blooming yet, but it's kind of purpley in the middle and then like whitish lavender petals around the edge. And so that's probably going to go to hide this riser here. And then these are going to go to cover up that opening. Of course, I got to build up the bottom first. So that's tomorrow's job for me. Noah and my nephew Tyler are going to be working for me tomorrow. You know, we've got the film crew coming at the end of the month, and so I'm trying to get sight lines and backgrounds from where they're going to be filming to not look like that and like that over there. So they're going to work to clean out all the junk, pile it over there so we can get a dumpster to put it in. Some of this was here before we moved in, and some of it I've added to. And then we're gonna paint this shed. It's not gonna be here forever, or at least in this location, but we're gonna paint it white with a black roof, similar to our house. And then once all that's cleared out, I can then come in here and finally remove the rest of this chain link fence that goes up to the top. You know, we already took the part out that went down this way and met up here. Now we can take this out. So when they're filming down here in the vegetable garden, it's not a bunch of junk in the background. So Noah has been doing this challenge for his school for extra credit. This whole week, he hasn't been able to use phones, TV, what else?
Just any electronics or television.
Any electronics, no music, unless it's like a record or cassette tape. So basically back when I was a kid. But he's been doing, can you see this right here? What is it, Noah?
It's Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, of course it's Hogwarts. Look at this, it's a 3D puzzle. It is, I just love looking at it, but it's super involved. Emily said she got it a long time ago, but if I see it on Amazon, I'll put a link down in the video description. Get that. So detailed. It's the next day. It's a beautiful Saturday, and I've got Tyler and Noah working for me. I'm gonna go through the pile so you can put everything over there.
I know.
So again, they're taking all the junk from back there, piling it down there at the end. And most of it's going to go in the dumpster. So we're going to get a dumpster this coming week, and I'll go through the pile and make sure there's nothing that I want to keep that's in there, and then I can stack everything in the dumpster nicely rather than letting kids do it and they're just going to throw everything in there, and it's going to fill it up better than it would if you pack it in nice and orderly. So I'm just getting them to do most of the manual labor of the movement. So the boys just finished. All this junk was behind the shed. Now a lot of this was cardboard that I saved from when we moved to do in the gardens, but I saved way too much of it. And some of this was from the previous owner of the house. So we'll order a dumpster and get it here hopefully early this coming week. Look how cleaned out everything is. Hasn't been like this since we moved in. They also started moving these stepping stones over for me, over to the cottage garden. And I'll take you over there and show you what I've been doing with them. I had this brainstorm to use them up. And a lot of things in the cottage garden are repurposed anyway, like all of the logs for the retaining walls. So you know, underneath the cottage walls was never closed in. Well, what about now? So I took these stepping stones, laid them out very level, used some masonry adhesive. Now there's a big thick wall there. It's going to be the same thing here. Now, most of that's not going to show because we're going to have the hydrangeas completely covering that. So it's to give stability. It's just to make a stable wall there that will kind of give a little bit of background behind the hydrangeas, but you're not actually going to see it much. So I'm going to work on the other half now. I'm so tired, but I'm done with the brick part. Now, I'm going to have to do some creative something or other in here and there and around this and over in here. And I'm probably going to do that with that spray foam. I've been able to get creative with that in the past, including up here. So that underneath there is all spray foam on both sides. Because I wasn't knowledgeable enough to get wood to be that shape, so I had to use spray foam. So I'm gonna take a break, come back out and keep working over here. Yeah, I've had my break and I just don't have it in me to go back out today. I'm exhausted, I'm in pain. I'm gonna get in the sauna, take a shower, and just relax the rest of the night. So I'll see you guys next time.